What's up, guys? Did you know that thousands of people each year get lost in the woods or in the backcountry? No one goes into the backcountry expecting to get lost, but it does happen. It happens to people who are inexperienced and to people who are experienced. I was out on a hike the other day and I was coming down a trail, and this lady was hiking up the trail, and she stopped me and asked me where this certain landmark was that she was trying to get to. And luckily I was familiar with the area, and I realized real quick that she was really lost. And so I took some time and I explained where she needed to go, and how to get to where she was trying to go. But I just kept thinking, man, she didn't have any supplies. She didn't have any water with her. She was out there unfamiliar with the area that she was hiking in. It was getting dark, and that would have been a very ugly situation for her. A lot of people don't think about the essentials that they should take with them on simple, short day hikes. There are some things that I take on every single hike with me that I've learned over the years. I didn't used to take all these things, but I've started to take these items because I know what can happen. And while I never intend to get lost, I want to be prepared in the unfortunate event that it does happen. And so let's get into it. Tip number one for me is to always tell somebody where I'm going. I let my wife know where I'm going, when I'll be back, and I always give a worry time. Tip number two, I would say, is to familiarize yourself with the area. Use an app like Onyx, Backcountry, or All Trails. Familiarize yourself with an app like that so that you can see the terrain, you can see the topography, you can see where you could get water if you needed to. You can see where, the steeper sections, anything like that, where maybe a road is, where another trail is. And then the key to that, though, is whatever app you use, make sure you're familiar with it. If you don't use one of those apps, one thing I would suggest is getting a paper map for the area that you're going to go in. Paper maps can seem outdated or whatever, but they still do the same job as they always have. They can get us from point A to point B. They can help us navigate the area, help us see the same things that a digital app can do. If you take a basic orienteering course, which I'm sure there's free ones online, learning how to use a map with a compass is super beneficial for orienteering and being able to navigate in the backcountry, especially if you were to get lost. Now, with that in mind, Search and Rescue does recommend that if you are lost, that you stop where you are and you don't try to find your way out, because a lot of times you'll end up getting more lost, and it can delay the rescue time. And then if you're in an area that doesn't have reception, and let's say you have an emergency, something that I've started carrying with me. Now, there's a lot of debate on whether, a satellite messenger is worth the wait. I'll tell you what, for a few ounces, the peace of mind that this thing gives me, this is the Garmin InReach. There are other Zoleo satellite messenger out there. There are other ones, new iPhones have it as well. There is a subscription fee for these. However, just the peace of mind when I'm out there and I know that if I ever got injured or had something happen and nobody was around, I could still get in touch with my contacts and be able to, or hit the SOS button hopefully I never have to use that button. So a satellite messenger is super awesome. They are kind of expensive and the monthly fee does add up. But for me, if you're out there a lot, it might be something to consider. Tip number three is to carry some basic survival items, or some basic emergency items, I should say. And so one of those items is just a pretty simple, lightweight emergency blanket. It doesn't take much space in your pack, but it does wonders if you're out there and you're needing to spend the night and you don't have any warm clothes or a sleeping bag or anything. Having one of these in your pack, throwing it over you and reflecting your body heat is going to help you stay warm, and you're going to be very happy that you had this. Another thing that I'm surprised that a lot of people don't carry, just on regular hikes, is a basic first aid kit. I would say this is an essential item to have out there with you, because you never know what's going to happen. The key with this is knowing how to use it, how to use the items in here, and then I would recommend, along with the basic orienteering course, take a basic first aid course. There you have them most communities have them, like a CERT program or something like that. But you can also probably just find one online, and they're probably free as well. So definitely something to do and to learn how to use the first aid kit and basic first aid in general. So I think that's super, super important. Another thing that I carry with me is a lighter. There's nothing like the thought of being out there and trying to build a fire without a lighter. A ferro rod is nice, but I'll tell you, just having a lighter, it's lightweight, it's easy to use. Everyone knows how to use this thing. You've got instant fire. You're not trying to, find some kindling and being able to get a spark off of a ferro rod, or trying to create some friction fire starter like a bow and drill set or something. Just carry a lighter with you when you're out there, because I'll tell you, if you were ever lost and you were cold, having a fire is going to not only keep you warm, but it's going to also make you feel more at ease, and kind of calm the nerves and help you feel a little bit more peace when you're out there. So for the size and weight, this is a no-brainer. Definitely something to throw in your pack each time you're out there. And then, of course, some water tablets. This also weighs next to nothing. And if you need to purify water and you don't carry a water purifier with you, then this is kind of the next best thing, to just throw it in your water. Each tablet will do 2 liters, I believe, and it takes 30 minutes, and then you've got clean water to drink. So definitely something else to throw in your pack. The last thing that I carry with me, as far as kind of like emergency gear, I would say is a disposable poncho for if it gets rainy, that your clothes aren't getting wet, and that's just a recipe for hypothermia to set in. If your clothes are wet and you have nothing to keep you warm, and it gets cold at night, that's recipe for disaster right there. Okay, so tip number 4 is to just carry some snacks and electrolytes. If you, in addition to the water tablets, if you are burning through electrolytes or whatever, and these are going to help you feel so much better. If you have just a packet of electrolytes, whatever brand you use, whatever flavor, doesn't matter, just something similar to just something small like this is going to be super helpful. And then also carrying some snacks, whatever you like. Of course, just maybe some jerky and some bars or something, just to give you some of that, if nothing else, just for some comfort. So just some additional tips. I would say 5 and 6 are to make sure you know how to use your gear. And then if you don't know how to use your gear, it's kind of pointless. So I would say learn how to use the gear, practice using it, know how to use it, learn any skills you may need to know. And then also the other thing is to be able to pack according to the area that you are going into. If you've liked this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you've had an experience that you have been lost, or if you have any other tips or tricks for people to help them not get lost, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Anyways, I hope to catch you on the next one.